wanted this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got JMR, we got John, Joey, Michael, JK, Chris. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way in. Appreciate you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about some Arizona Cardinals, and I know, I get it. Man, this team is so damn hard to talk about, but here we are. We're going to continue to chug along and see if there's something, some little light at the end of the tunnel. Now, yes, you read this title correctly. It does say that in the thumbnail. What I'm going to talk about here in this video, it's a bunch of what ifs, right? Like, I'm going to be very, very clear and very, very honest. Do I think the Arizona Cardinals are a playoff team? Not with what we've seen so far, right? It's a team in year 3 that have not been able to close out games, and we got question marks about everything on this organization. So I'm not going to try to sell you guys a pot of gold, but I really want to talk about just like the NFC standings in general, right? Like, I don't know if you guys saw those Monday Night Football games yesterday. There were some good football games, right? We ended up seeing the Bills against the Falcons. Now, we got the Falcons a little later on in the season. I don't know what the Falcons team is, honestly. This Falcons team is so interesting. It's so interesting to see how they played against the Bills, and they dominated, man. They did a really good job against Josh Allen and that Buffalo Bills team. One thing I will say, looking at, like, I don't watch every Buffalo Bills game, I'm gonna be real with you, but that defense isn't great. Like, there's so many injuries with that defensive side of the ball when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. Now, yes, they are on the AFC side compared to the NFC side with the Falcons. I was very impressed with the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, my goodness, this guy is the next best running back in the NFC, and it's not even close. He looks really explosive. And like I said, unfortunately, the Cardinals have to play him. I believe it's week 14, 15, or 16, something along those lines, but it's in the later part of the schedule, somewhere in December, and I'm not looking forward to that matchup, if I'm going to be honest with you. But we're going to keep chugging along. But I also want to talk about just like the NFC just in general. I don't feel like there is a clear consensus number one top dog out there. Like, I really don't. Like, I thought the Eagles were that team. I thought the Packers were that team. Like, right now, it might be the Bucs. It might truly be the Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield playing out of his mind right now. Like, that is the unknown factor of where we are at right now as an organization. And I just noticed this right now looking at the standings. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cardinals are 2-4. The Panthers, for the love of God, are 3-3. The Bears are 3-2. The Vikings are 3-2 with Wentz playing the last couple games. The Giants are 2-4. The Cowboys, oh my goodness, it's the realistic nature right now of where we are at right now as an organization. It's very, very unfortunate. Expectations were so high coming into the season. Now, I don't think a lot of us projected the injuries, but that's the excuse, right? That's an excuse at the end of the day. The Arizona Cardinals had all the opportunity in the world to take advantage of these close games, and unfortunately, they just can't figure out how to win these close games. So, don't want to sell you a pot of gold, but one thing I definitely want to talk about is there's no clear-cut team that is running away with this conference. Not in my opinion. The Bucs are the closest thing out there, but even the Bucs, when you're looking at them, there's so many injuries. Baker Mayfield is doing it with a bunch of guys that were in the later rounds that I wanted the Cardinals to potentially look at. Tez Johnson, right? Cardinals didn't do it. Tez Johnson, Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton's with the Seattle Seahawks, but there are guys that are being productive in the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round in the NFL draft, and the Cardinals, for some reason, still didn't go a wide receiver. So, like, it's so crazy to see what Baker Mayfield's doing. The Falcons, to their own right, they upset potentially a Super Bowl favorite, quote-unquote Super Bowl favorite, because obviously Josh Allen. But man, oh man, oh man, the Panthers have 3 wins. The NFC West on the other side right now, the NFC West, dude, like that division, they're all 4-2. They're all 4-2 except for us. It's so crazy. And I've heard Jonathan Gannon say we're close, right? And I'm seeing my guy here, Ian, in the chat doubling down saying we're close. I mean, To be honest with you, I would accept this answer if we were in year 2. I would accept this answer if we were in year 1. I don't know, man. It's just my expectations for this team, though we're close, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me because we shouldn't be close in year 3. Now, that's just probably my expectation. It's probably my being too critical or me being too hard on this organization. But keep in mind, I've been doing this for 7 freaking years, ladies and gentlemen. And I've heard every excuse in the book, and it's changed between, oh, we don't have this, or it's this, or it's that, or it's that. And honestly, it kind of got to the point where this honestly kind of feels like an excuse. And obviously, if you want to hang on to it, that's completely fine. I'm just giving you my personal opinion on this whole situation. We're close. We're year 3. We're year 3 and we can't crack 3 freaking wins in the first 6 weeks. So like it doesn't mean anything to me for Jonathan Gannon to say, "Oh, we're close," because at the end of the day, I know we are. We lost 1 possession games in the last 4 games that we lost, but at the end of the day, you just got to admit you're a 2-4 team or you a shoulda coulda woulda team. And right now, we're a 2-4 team, man. It doesn't feel good. Now, yes, we do have 10 plus games, right? That is to our favor. We got 10 plus games left in the season. And yes, anything can happen. The Cardinals can go on a 10-game winning streak. Will they? Probably not. But anything can happen, right? But as of right now, yes, the standings are what it is. I'm actually glad the Bears actually beat the Commanders because when I've been doing my rankings, I did think the Commanders were going to be a playoff caliber team. So you got your 4 division winners, right? And then you got those 3 teams that come out of the other divisions as wild cards, right? So right now, I'm looking at the standings, right? And let me just do a quick sharing of my screen, so we can kind of all be on the same page. I'm looking at the standings right now. I still do think that the Eagles, although I don't think that they're running away with the best team in the NFC right now, but they're top there. I do think that they're going to win the division. I'm kind of conflicted between the Lions and the Packers, if I'm going to be real with you. I think the Lions will somehow find a way to win the division, but that's just me. I do think that the Buccaneers are the clear best team in the South, no doubt. And then the West, this is a toss-up between these 3 teams. And it's sad because this is Mac Jones, this is Sam Darnold, and this is Matthew Stafford. So nothing sad about Matthew Stafford, but just the fact that those other 2 quarterbacks are winning for their team, and now we're still dealing with the situation that we're dealing with right now, right? So it's a toss-up between these 3 teams. I don't know who's going to win. Maybe the Rams, maybe the Hawks, maybe the 49ers. I don't know. But we can realistically live in a world where we have a division winner, and all 3 of these guys go inside to the playoffs, and the Cardinals are on the outside looking in, right? Because right now, it looks maybe like the Packers can take that next spot. If not the Packers, maybe the Commanders can take that next spot. But I'm not going to lie to you. If you look at the Commanders' next games moving forward, look who they have to play. The Commanders have to play the Cowboys, which that can be a win for them, but the Cowboys put up points. That's one thing I will say. They put up a lot of points. So they got the Cowboys, they got the Chiefs, they got the Seahawks, and they got the Lions. That's such a tough stretch to their season, right? There's such a tough stretch to their season. So we might see the Commanders lose some games where if the Cardinals can finally get it right, they could potentially crawl back into the whole playoff race. But that's where my mind is right now, man. My mind is a playoff team or a playoff bust. Sorry, playoffs or bust type of season for me, right? So I'm not taking too much or too kind to the word close because it doesn't mean anything to me. It really doesn't. Juan says, yes, it is. No, yeah, it's here at home. Yep. It's going to be here in State Farm Stadium. So one thing we got going for us is maybe that can be to our advantage, that is going to be a home game for the Arizona Cardinals. But I don't know, man. Like I've been to the Seahawks game, and even with the Seahawks fans there, the stadium's not 75% filled to capacity, or not like it's filled about 80% of the capacity, or like let's say 85% of the capacity. Like there's 15%, and it's a lot of the top area. Like that's people don't look up there on TV. Obviously, you don't get a chance to see it, but a lot of that top 300 section, it's not filled at all. And even sporadically, there's a lot of empty seats in that Seahawks game. And even when you're watching on television, right, in that Panthers game, in the Titans game, there's a lot of empty seats. So yes, this is going to be a home game for the Cardinals, but like we're not really one to provide very much home field advantage. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like this is as dead as a fan base I've seen heading into week 7. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit, man. There's a lot of up in the air right now for this organization with the coaching staff, with the quarterback, with decisions that might need to be made in the trade deadline or maybe even in the offseason. There's a lot of I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a lot of positive. It doesn't seem like a lot of positive. I guess I'll leave it at that. Doesn't seem like a lot of positive. Joel in the chat says this is a must win. I don't give an F. Yeah, it is absolutely. Like I feel like every game from here on out is a must win, and the Cardinals unfortunately put themselves in a situation where they have to be in a dire need of must wins. Right, like that's where they are at right now. They're in dire need of must win games from here on out. There's no more room for error. There really isn't. Can the Cardinals beat the Packers? I mean, the Packers have a good defense. Now, the wide receiving core, they got some good weapons over there. They really do. They got a good running game when it comes down to Jacobs. Now, the Cardinals did go also toe-to-toe with the Colts, and again, lost by less than a touchdown. So the Cardinals are in games. They are. They haven't been blown out yet. The game that I feel like it was the biggest blowout, but the result didn't look like it, was probably the Seahawks game. That Seahawks game could have turned really ugly if a few penalties didn't hit the Seahawks. That game could have been really, really ugly. But Cardinals came crawling back in the fourth quarter, and it looked a lot better, right? It looked a lot better. But for the most part, all these games have been very, very close for the Cardinals. So for what it's worth, is there a little hope? There's a slight sliver of hope, even if it's 1 or 2%. I'm glad the Chicago Bears end up beating the Commanders because that just helps us out, right? The Commanders right now are 3-3. The Cardinals are 4-2. That's literally a 1 win away. That's 1 win away. But can we beat the Packers? Can we beat the Cowboys on Monday Night Football after the bye week? There's going to be some tough questions. There's going to be some tough questions that are going to be needed answered here because we got a lot of football left. And so far, the coaching staff is saying all the right things, right? They don't seem like they're giving up. And at least what they're describing the locker room, they're not seeming like they're giving up. So that's a breath of fresh air. That's good that they're not closing shop and kind of going to, oh, we're going in our cocoon or going into a shell. Because, I mean, you do have 10 plus games left, realistically. So anything could happen here for the Cardinals. Why was the play calling so much better for Brissett? Well, let me ask you, in what sense do you think it was better? What sense do you think it was better? Do you mean like more play, like more throws? Or do you think that like in what sense do you mean? My question to you is, one thing I will say is the Arizona Cardinals were able to throw the ball efficiently. So when you're converting third downs, you get more plays. So do you think that like we were just more explosive? Keep in mind that third down efficiency was like 9 for 14. So when you're converting third downs, you have more plays on the field. When you're making plays, the playbook opens up a little bit more, right? So I guess my question to you, Ian, is what do you mean by that? DDR says there's hope, but then again, we're the Cardinals. Only Jesus can see us. That's funny. Yeah, man. It's brutal, man. It's really brutal out here. It really is. It's not a good feeling. For the people out there that are holding hope, that's fine. Hold the hope, man. Hold the hope. I know there's a portion of the Cardinal fan base that needs to hold the hope because as of right now, hope is dwindling away. The odds of making the playoffs is very slim. The odds of the Arizona Cardinals getting a top 10 pick in the 2026 NFL draft is a lot higher. Is a lot higher. And just put that into consideration, right? Put that into consideration. So I'm waiting for my guy. Here we go. Ian in the chat says more downfield throws, creative run game. Trey was a priority. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Drew Petzing is telling the quarterbacks where to throw the ball? Or do you think that the quarterback's decision making on the field is a deciding factor on where the ball's going? Because I kind of feel like I know where your mindset is already going. please keep in mind that the one job of an offensive coordinator is to call the plays, right? Call the plays. But the execution is another big part. It's like 60-40, 50-50. There's a big job of what Petzing has to offer, but also on the other side of the coin, the players need to execute, right? So I would say 55-45, hell, maybe even 50-50. Their jobs are very important. So more downfield throws. Well, Jacoby Brissett threw the ball. He stood in the pocket tall. He took so many hits back there. Every time it was panned, not every time, but a good portion, the camera panned over to Jacoby. He was grimacing in pain, getting brought up by his a player from the Cardinals. So downfield throws, well, credit that to the quarterback. Creative run game. I wouldn't say we had a creative run game. The Cardinals, again, did not have a good run game. Our best runner actually was tied. Like, both our runners, which we have a running back by committee right now. Michael Carter was 9 carries, 34 yards. Zonovan Knight was 11 carries, 34 yards. Jacoby Brissett was 3 carries, 19 yards. So our running back number one is a split share and had a total of 68 yards between two running backs. I wouldn't say the run game was creative. I just think that what were they doing was working. Trey was a priority. Well, the quarterback, throw the ball to your weapons. and like I said, the more plays you have, the more you convert third downs. It opens up the playbook a little bit more to have more different plays. So, I mean, Jacoby's a really good quarterback with the scheme. Let's just leave it at that. Now, the Colts aren't the best when it comes down to defense. They're probably middle of the line. If he gets the start, I'm excited to see what he's going to do against a really good pass rush with Micah Parsons over there, right? With the Green Bay Packers. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care who starts. I want to win. I don't care who starts. I just want to win. I want this offense to run as efficiently as it can, and I just want to win. That's the most important thing to me, whether that's K1 or that's going to be Jacoby. But you better bet your bottom dollar if they put K1 back in here and it's not as explosive as what we've seen. Here we go again. Here we go again. Naheem in the chat says, let's be honest, Jacoby Brissett really played well, and he can throw a deep shot to Zay and to Michael Wilson. Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as it's not that complex. And I'm not trying to be a jerk or I'm not trying to be rude. It's not that complex. When you make plays on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays, you have more plays, right? I mentioned before, the Cardinals' third down efficiency was the best I've ever seen all year long. 9 for 14. We're usually like 50%. Now, this is a little over. It's like 50, maybe like 60%. 9 for 14 is not, it's not like it's 14 for 14, right? But like, we did really good in third down efficiencies. We had 25 first downs. Like, we did well in this game. You convert more, you have more plays. Simple as that. Miguel in the chat says, keep Jacoby, save some money, and upgrade the rest. I mean, if I was a general manager, it sounds as simple as that, right? If it sounds as simple as that. But I get it. I understand it. The portion of Cardinal fans out there that want to keep Kyler Murray and want to throw everything on the wall and hope it sticks is getting to the point where the best way I can describe it is that you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. That's the best way I can describe it. Because to be real with you, I'm seeing all these narratives out there that are just crazy. And one of the biggest one is, oh, now Drew Petzing decides to open up the playbook. Oh, now our run game has not been fixed. It's still the same run game. It's still the same thing. But with what we've seen from Jacoby Brissett was a efficient NFL caliber type of offense. As simple as that. There's no underlying things there. That he moved the ball down the field. In that last drive, I thought Drew Petzing could have been better and potentially could have had a run play here or two to allow them to burn their timeouts out. Drew Petzing didn't do that. Then we have to die by that sword. It was run. Sorry, no, it was pass. And he should have been a little bit more balanced. That's one thing I don't like about Petzing. He's not situationally, it doesn't seem like it clicks. Because even if you got a touchdown, they had 2 timeouts left. And like a little over a minute. If not a little over, then a little less than a minute. our defense wasn't doing really good. We were putting the ball again in the defensive hands, which in the last 3 games prior to this one, they weren't able to stop anybody. So it's probably going to be the same result, right? So that's my big knock on Petsing. Not the scheme. I think the scheme can work. I think the scheme can be an NFL caliber type of team or like a offense. It's just who's back there? Who's back there? Carlo in the chat says our running back. Yeah, it's been like that. And I know the question out there is, will the Arizona Cardinals go after a running back, right? Like Alvin Kamara or Breece Hall. Right now, looking at this offense, they shouldn't go. I don't know. Maybe something changes next week, right? Because if you're 3-4, that seems a lot better than 2-5. Let's be real. But as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Monty Ossenfort really wants to trade draft capital for this team that's not proven that they can do anything. Will he do it? Hopefully. I just don't see him do it. Trading is for teams that are winning. Are the Cardinals winning? No, they're not. Chris F in the chat says Kyler panics too quickly. Jacoby showed Kyler what this offense could be if he doesn't panic. Well, yeah, I mean that. And like I said, people don't think I give credit, but I gave credit to Kyler Murray in the second half of that 49ers game. He stood in the pocket, tall. He did a good job. He did a good job in that game. I wanted to see more of that, but it's just the inconsistency of what Kyler Murray's career is. Kyler Murray's career being the Cardinals quarterback is inconsistent. Simple as that. Miguel in the chat says Chuba Hubbard would be amazing if the Cardinals ended up bringing. I know he's dealing with an injury right now. I'm not sure if it's not as bad as they're seeming it to be, because keep it in mind as well, trade deadline is coming around. Is the Panthers going to be a team contending to the playoffs? Some might not say so, but you never know. You never know. There's still 10 plus games left for everybody, right? So we'll see. Chuba would be cool, but if Chuba does go somewhere, he probably would go to maybe more of a contending team. And right now the Cardinals aren't a contending team. Corey in the chat says Jacoby in, Kyler out. Well, not what Gannon said. Gannon ended up coming out and saying, and that's why I just released the video maybe about 5, 6, 7 minutes before going live. There should be a quarterback controversy. There should be a quarterback controversy going on. And because what I talked about yesterday, for 6 straight years and now 7 straight years, we have babied and coddled Kyler Murray to the point where we never brought in real competition until this year. Never did. You never brought in real competition at quarterback. You can hear everybody, oh, competition is good, right? Oh, blah, 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 blah. But the Cardinals never done it. They brought in Clayton Tune, a 5th-round pick. He wasn't better than Kyler. Let's be real. He wasn't. They traded for Desmond Ridder. He's not better than Kyler. We knew it. Now this year, in year 7, they brought a very competent quarterback in Jacoby, right? And then with the straight face, Gannon came out and said, oh, well, when healthy, Kyler is going to be QB1. And I don't blame him for saying that. I really don't. Kyler Murray is getting paid $45+ million. This might be something where he actually truly doesn't have power. He probably does not have the say in terms of if he's going to. I feel like somebody uppers, right? Like the general manager as well as the owner, they probably have a thing to say or two about it. I'm getting to the point where I feel like Jonathan Gannon is kind of a puppet. I'm going to be real with you. He's kind of a puppet. He's kind of a puppet. So anything that we can take away from Monday Night Football, I would say, is that the NFC is still open. That's one thing I will say that we can take away from it, that the NFC is still open. Take that how you will, but the NFC is still open. There's nobody that I'm looking at the standings that I'm saying is a clear-cut number one. Right now, my number one would probably be the Bucs. It was the Falcons 3 weeks ago. Now it's the Bucs. They're playing out of their mind, and that's with Baker Mayfield with no wide receivers. Who the hell is Tez Johnson? Well, I know who he was. I wanted the Cardinals to draft Tez Johnson, but they said, no, we're good. But there he's rolling with Tez Johnson. Emeka Ibuka might be missing sometime. Chris Godwin can't stay healthy. Mike Evans is hurt now. Bucky Irving is hurt. And he ended up going toe-to-toe with the 49ers and beat them. So right now, my number one team in the NFC is probably the Bucs. Eagles, maybe shortly after that. I still do think that the Lions is up there. But the NFC West, every team in the NFC West might be going to the playoffs, except for us. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Every team in the NFC West might be going to the playoffs except for us. Let that sink in. It's a 3-way tie, 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. The 49ers do have the leg up over the other two because they got 2 division wins under their belt, but the Cardinals are sitting at 2-4. Got a super chat coming our way. Back to the Constitution. What's up, man? He says, it's so refreshing to see a quarterback stand tall and shrug away rushers and hit our receivers in their hands with no tips, blocks, and hurrying. Yeah, man. If you can't admit it, then I don't know what to tell you. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. As simple as that. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. What you've seen from Jacoby Brissett we should not see anybody saying fire Drew Petzing anymore because you think that's going to be the fix of the problem. If you feel like Drew Petzing is not the answer at the end of the year and you still want to fire, okay, cool. I mean, if the Cardinals are going to be a 4-win team next year, then yeah, there's a real possibility that Petzing might go. But for the sole reason to save your precious Kyler Murray, to not give him any criticism, the answer is not fire Petzing. So do I want Petzing gone? Well, if the Cardinals can't fix this offense, then yeah, at the end of the year, we probably will part ways with them. That's fine. I'm not a Petzing stan, but I want to make it very, very clear. It's not just Petzing why this offense is the way that it is. And we scored the most amount of points in one game with 1 week of preparation with Jacoby. We scored the most amount of points, the most amount of yardage throwing through the air with Jacoby Brissett. It's crazy. 1 week. Do you all remember what we were talking about? It took 8 games for Kyler Murray to get his footwork down. $45+ million quarterback. We were making excuses, saying things like, oh, his footwork ain't down there. His footwork has to get better. He hasn't played in under center. 8 games. We said that. And I said it too. That's on me. I'm an idiot. I'm dumb. But the criticism was still there. Even when he came back for those 8 games. He only won 3 games out of 8. Lost 5, won 3. We all know what happened last year, and now we're here. All right? So it is refreshing. It's refreshing to see a quarterback that actually fits this scheme. It's refreshing. It really, really is. An offense that looks like they belong in the NFL. That's refreshing. And no, it's not all Kyler. For the people out there that are probably running, they're probably running to the comment section. It's not all, you're right, it's not all Kyler. You're 100% right. But for the people that lied to you and told you that's what will fix it, shame on them for not actually doing the due diligence. And guess what? We did that already. We already did that. 3 years ago, we did that. And we were willing to do it again. Not all of us, but a portion of the fan base was willing to do it again to save their precious Kyler Murray and not hold him to a standard that he needs to be in. $45+ million. You can't throw more than 300 yards. The last time he did it was probably, late October? Was it December 20? No, sorry. Late December last year, December 2024. And I think he's only had a total of like 15 300-yard games in his career. In 7 years, 15 300-yard games. You play 16 games a year, 16, 17, now move to 17. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't, bro. I can't. At this point, let the jokes rail. At this point, just let the jokes come in. At this point, there's no defending him. It really isn't. Rick in the chat says Kyler has had a hard time seeing receiver. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with it. Here's my thing. People were thinking that I was saying it's everybody save Petzing. I don't care about Petzing. I don't care. I just want people to fully understand what the actual problem is. He's not 100% the problem. That's my main thing. I'm cool with this. Fire Petzing, trade Kyler. I'm cool with it. Whatever. If the Cardinals were smart, they would do it. I don't think the Cardinals are smart to do it. I think they're scared. I think they're scared to do something like this because what if we don't get something back that we're going to be favored to? They're scared. They're scared to do something like this. They don't got to do it. Any chance you have to send Kyler somewhere is now. Keep him healthy for the bye week. Try to send him over to the Jets. Try to send him to the Raiders. Try to send him to the Steelers, to the Browns. Try to sell him anywhere that is going to give us a good package back so we can start thinking about maybe making this team a competent team. Now, I ended up putting this Tony Stark thing on my X and Twitter, right? Where he goes like this and things start blowing up. And I'm like, it's time, right? Like, blow it up, right? I want to be clear. I think this team can be a playoff team. I really do. I think if Jacoby Brissett potentially started, we might be seeing not the narrative of, oh, this offense can't get it together in year 3. I think we would see a very fun offense. I don't think we're going to win all 5 games. No, 100% no. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is that, right? But I think we would be in a better situation, truly. We would put more points up if Jacoby Brissett was playing these last games. The big problem is, why can't the Cardinals do that? Well, we know. We just don't want to face it head on. Cardinals should do that. That's what they should be doing. Get on the phones. Start trying to figure something out for the trade deadline. What's happening in 2 or 3 weeks from now? Are the Cardinals going to beat the Packers? If they don't, then you reassess. Panic mode. Here we go. If the Cardinals beat the Packers, okay, then we're back in it. Ish. Right? Then we're back in it. Ish. I mean, I kind of want to see Kyler Murray versus the Packers. I really do. I kind of want to see Kyler Murray versus the Packers. What most likely will happen is probably going to be Jacoby. But I kind of want to see Kyler Murray with the Packers. I really do. I want to have him have a bounce back to see what he just saw and try to see if he can learn from it. I know. Learn in year 7. I know. I get it. Laughable, right? But I kind of want him to start. I kind of want to start him versus the Packers, to be real. If he can go, I would love to see him. Alejandro, what's up, man? Appreciate the super chat. So far, 2 super chats. Love to see it. He's saying this: we just need a shorter O-line, duh. Facts. True. That's what you're right. You're 100% right. That's exactly what we need. Silly me. That's funny. Love to see it. Boost in the chat says riding Jacoby. It's not even about the riding. It's about seeing a fun offense. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to go 13-4. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to go 13-4. And I don't think anybody in this chat is going to say that. I just think that this is the best offense we've seen in 1 week's preparation. I kind of want to see Kyler Murray in this next week to see if he can have a bounce back. Let him fling it. Let him. If Drew Petzing's truly, like you guys are saying, holding Kyler Murray back, Drew Petzing should unleash it. Because you just proved it. You proved it in week 6 that you could have a quarterback dice up a defense. Unleash Kyler Murray and allow him to do the same thing, right? Because people think that he's being handcuffed. Okay, allow him. Allow him to do it. Go to the Green Bay Packers. Win us that game. Give us 340 yards, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. You want an interception? Cool, have an interception too. I kind of want to see Kyler Murray, to be honest with you. Jackson in the chat says Jacoby is going to go 9-8 or 10-7. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I want to see a bigger sample size of Jacoby as well. But Jonathan Gannon already put his flag down. He said Kyler Murray, when healthy, is going to be the quarterback. Okay. Well, I hope he's healthy. 24/7 football. What's up, man? Dude, if Rex Grossman can take the Bears to the Super Bowl, Jacoby can take the Cardinals far. Okay. Cool. I'm just not trying to sell you guys a bag of goods that everything is going to be fixed with Jacoby when we only saw one game sample size, right? I'm trying to avoid that. Because guess what? Who's the one that's getting it? Me, not you guys in the chat. Me. People are going to be like, oh, you remember when you said Jacoby Brissett's going to win like 7-8 games? I'm just trying to tell you that what we saw was very, very good in that one game. That's all I'm trying to say. If we see a bigger sample size and he sustains that, then I'll be on that same board. 24/7 football, I'll be on that same board. But right now, I'm not willing to put my stake down and saying this is what he can do for us. Unless the Cardinals are willing to roll with him. And as of right now, Jonathan Gannon did not say he's willing to roll with them because it's Kyler Murray's job right now when healthy, which I thought he spoke a little too soon, but that's his decision. I want to trade for the Packers' backup QB. Well, if you trade for any QB at this point, you got to get rid of Kyler. How dumb would we look if we trade for the backup QB and we don't trade Kyler? That would just be dumb. It would be asinine. I'm done seeing what Kyler Murray can do. I want to see what Jacoby do. I do too. I do too. But at the end of the day, whose decision is? It ain't our decision. It's Jonathan Gannon's decision. He's going to ride and die with the loyalty. That's why when I made the video that I posted a while ago, or maybe 5 minutes before we ended up going live here, Jonathan Gannon's going to die on the sword. If it works, then he's a hero. If he doesn't, then he's going to have a lot of criticism coming his way. He made a decision, split second, real quick, that is the best move for this franchise, he said. He said, that's the best move for this franchise right now, is we're going with Kyler. Okay, we'll win. Let's start seeing some winning football. Let's see this offense function the way that Jacoby functioned it. Trade for Cameron Ward. Yikes. AZ fan says Kyler is cooked. The new Call of Duty came out. Oh, snap. Did it come out already? I thought it was Battlefield that came out. I think that's what people are talking. I think that's the joke, that Battlefield came out. How long is Murray out? We don't know. The last report that we saw was Ian Rappaport, and Ian Rappaport said that it could be out more than just this week, and he was talking about the Colts week. So we were under the understanding that he could potentially be missing out this week as well, and maybe him being healthy in the Cowboys game after the bye week, right? But now Jonathan Gannon wants to play games, and Jonathan Gannon wants to come out here and say he's day by day, right? He wants to come out here and play games. So now on Wednesday, we're going to be keeping our eyes on, is Kyler Murray limited again? Is Kyler Murray limited on Thursday? Is Kyler Murray limited on Friday to make a big decision if he's going to be going or not? It's just a big, ridiculous. It's just ridiculous now. Like, the way that they run things is to the point where it's so annoying. And the biggest reason is because they're not winning. If they were winning, you can be as secretive as you want. That's fine. Do you, right? It's working, whatever. But guess what? It ain't working. It ain't working. What you're doing to get a slight little advantage ain't working at all. This BS day to day is BS. You know, can he go? Can he not go? You know, it doesn't take until the day before. What we heard was a Lisfranc injury. That could be bad if you can continue to play on it. That's why Ian Rappaport said it could be more than a week. But now, my man JG over here trying to play games. He's over here trying to play games. Lee in the chat, what's up, Lee? Jonathan Gannon's record as a head coach is 14 wins versus 16 losses. Is that a form? No, it's not. I want to say keep Jacoby and fire JG. I mean, I'm on board with anything, brother. Honestly, I'm on board with anything under the sun. He wants to win, but keeps Kyler. It's just, you can't have your pie and eat it too, right? You can't have your pie and eat it too. At the end of the day, you can't. You can't. So the Cardinals need to make a tough decision. He planted his stake, but that doesn't mean he can't go back on it. If Jacoby somehow wins against the Green Bay Packers, let's see what he says then. But I don't take anything this man says very seriously, to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be the future. To be real with you, I don't think Jonathan Gannon's going to be the future. So anything he says is kind of in one ear, out the other. I make content, I cover this team, but that's kind of where it stops. Should we get Cal? No. No, we're good, man. We're good. JG has way more than 16 losses. I think he's at, where is he at right now? Let me see. Jonathan Gannon right now is at 14 wins, 26 losses. Okay, that I might have read that wrong. So maybe my dyslexia ended up kicking in. That's a possibility. No, yes, I read that wrong. I apologize. He did say 14 wins, 26 losses. If I said 16, that's on me. Dyslexia ended up kicking in. That's on me. So yeah, 14 wins, 26 losses. That's on me. Jason in the chat says Cardinals offense is wrong for Kyler. Circle in a square hole. Yeah, you know what I mean? Circle. They're trying to so bad fit it, and it just doesn't work, man. It's almost like the Jonah Williams thing. But honestly, Jonah Williams didn't look too bad. Like, and it might be because Jacoby Brissett was very elusive for as old as he is, as a statue as he is. He used his legs when needed, right? So This can happen, man. It can happen. This whole narrative of, it takes 3 years for a team to rebuild, that's BS. That's what it takes the Cardinals organization to rebuild because, A, we allow it as a fan base. We allow it. We don't put heat on them. We just tune off, and we don't care. We tune it off, and they're like, okay, whatever. Not a big deal. They're rebuilding this year. We don't care. We don't have a big enough fan base to show Bidwell that, hey, we're sick of it. We don't have a big enough fan base. But you know how you make him? Stop going to games. Stop buying his merch. That's how you show him. That's how you show him that we mean business and that we're sick of it. Let me give a real quick shout out here to the sponsors, guys that are keeping the lights on, and we'll continue with the chat. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points, and more for up to 100 times the payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you can get up to a $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Make sure to check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports fan throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. But yeah, what we ended up seeing yesterday, we saw some really good Monday Night Football games. I'm a big fan of Caleb Williams. I know the narrative's out there about him painting his nails and people really want to get on him. To be honest with you, that's little things that I don't care about as long as they're winning, right? If he's losing and people are talking about painting his nails, of course, I'll get on it and be like, oh, that's so dumb, blah, 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 blah. No, actually, not even necessarily. Like, now thinking about it, that's his own personal life. I can actually care too, as long as he wins, that's what's more important to me. But Caleb Williams beat Jaden Daniels yesterday. It's a good game. Very, very good game. And guess what? It was a kicker that was the 49ers kicker and Jake Moody. They ended up parting ways from him, and he ended up having a really good game. He missed one, or it was a blocked kick, but that was a really good game. And it's really telling to see the Falcons, man. The Falcons look really good against the Bills. Really good against the Bills. M. Duncan says, go get Joe Milton. My problem with going after a quarterback now is that I don't want a facade. I don't want something out there to distract that the Cardinals need to go after a quarterback. Does that make sense? Too many times have we heard people saying, I don't want to go back to the quarterback carousel with Lindley and Skelton and Anderson, right? But they don't want to mention the fact that all those guys are 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks. None of those guys were first rounders. Those guys were scrubs. I'm sorry to say. They weren't good quarterbacks. They weren't talented guys to be picked up in the first round. So, yes, there was a quarterback carousel between Warner and Palmer, but the Cardinals never really went after a quarterback themselves. They put themselves in that situation. They wanted to roll with these guys because they didn't put themselves in a situation to go after anybody. So don't let anybody fool you. The Cardinals right now can be in prime position to go after a quarterback. So I don't even want to trade for anybody. If one thing I would say is trade Kyler. Trade him. See what you can get. If you can get a first rounder, that would be a blessing. I don't know if you can go for a first rounder now with that contract, but if we can get a first round pick, that would be a blessing. Because guess what? You can go out there and get maybe an offensive lineman and a quarterback, or you can get an offensive lineman and another weapon, or you can get an offensive lineman or the best player available, whatever it seems fit for Monty. But there's some really good wide receivers. Jordan Tyson being one of them out of ASU. Really like him. I'm not sure if Smith out of Ohio State is coming out this year or not. We're going to have to kind of wait and see. Or you get an offensive lineman, one of the best offensive linemen, and replace Jonah, right? Finally get your bookends, but you get your quarterback in the other first round. I'm not sure Kyler's going for a first round pick, but it's kind of the way I would like the Cardinals to roll. You got to start thinking of the future. Kyler's not going to win you a Super Bowl. He's just not. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Okay, I'm going to start putting the shame bell on these guys.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Kyler's a top 5 quarterback, bro. Oh my goodness. It doesn't stop. Why are we trading a top 5 quarterback? Let me just do it again for one more time.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Oh, it doesn't end, man. It doesn't end. We are going to be in this predicament because we got young fans. And this is not to knock on young fans. That's awesome. You guys are here. But for the guys that only know Kyler Murray, and the demographic is like those 23, 24, 25-year-olds they don't know anything different. They want to make fetch happen so damn bad. They want to make Kyler Murray happen so damn bad. We got people out here saying outlandish things. Kyler Murray is top 5 quarterback. That's crazy. That's crazy. Year 7, no playoff wins. But he's top 5. Oh, because QBR. Because QBR, right? That's why. Because QBR. That's why. Gotcha. Oh, what's the new one now? EPA? Oh, that, yep. Oh, yeah. Wild. Wild. Trey in the chat says, I'm taking receipts. Please do. Let's go with Jack. What's it? Jack says, you realize we could have drafted Nick Bosa instead of Kyler. No, well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't fault the Cardinals for going Kyler. I don't. Now, I wasn't on YouTube when this happened, but I guess if I'll give you a little personal, right? If you give you a little I didn't want to go after a quarterback. I wanted to just stay with Josh Rosen. To be real with you, I wanted to stay with Josh Rosen. Was that a bad decision? Of course, yeah. You know, you're not batting 1,000. I didn't want to go Kyler Murray. I wanted to go Josh Rosen or stay with Rosen for at least another year to give him an opportunity. But because the Cardinals went back-to-back QBs, you do miss out on players like Quentin. You miss out players like Nick Bosa, right? You miss out on those players out there because you went back-to-back quarterbacks. I didn't want Kyler Murray in the draft when we got him, and I was like, okay, this guy can be potential, right? But what did he really do different from year 1 of Josh to Kyler in terms of the win column? Was it a half game more? Maybe a game and a half more? I mean, there really wasn't much. But Kyler Murray's got the legs. Kyler Murray's got the ability to be athletic, right? The ability to be great, right? It's just now we're seeing year 7. And guess what? I don't fault the Cardinals for doing it, but I didn't want to. But here we are. We're 7 in, and we're talking about Kyler Murray, top 5 quarterback. Oh, my goodness gracious. Save me from this fan base, for the love of God. Save me from this fan base. Yes, chosen Rosen, 100%. No, well, here's the thing, right? I was wrong. I was wrong to want to stay with him, but also, was I wrong? Because we could have got Nick Bosa or maybe traded back and get some more draft picks, or maybe even getting Quentin Williams. So was I wrong? I was wrong because Josh Rosen ain't it. But was I wrong? You know, I don't know. You can look at it in multiple different directions. But Mike's wrong. He wanted Josh Rosen. He wanted to stay with him for 1 more year. He's terrible. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. Go ahead, take it. Come on, send it on me. That's fine. I'm cool with it. Trade Jacoby since he's better. Yikes. Let's see here. Let's go with Ian. Ian in the chat says Kyler is and can still be the guy. We just need to start winning games and the noise will die down. Well, that's positivity. Let's keep it going here. We got Robert in the chat says send Kyler to the Diamondbacks. Fire the whole coaching staff and either draft a QB or grab Sanders. I'm cool with drafting a QB, to be real with you. I'm cool with drafting a QB. I don't want to trade for anybody because I don't want to have glimpses of hope that this is going to be the guy. And we veer away, right? And we veer away from what we really need to do. And that's put our eggs in a basket on somebody else, right? So I do agree with this too. 110% agree with this too. I still do believe he wasn't given a fair chance to the team he was drafted to. 100% still agree. But it's the NFL, right? Not for long league, right? So it is what it is, man. Cardinals made their decision, and now we're 7 years in, and we haven't won a playoff game. We're 7 years in, and I don't think anybody has any hope that we're going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. And that's a sad place to be. You know, honestly, now I forgot Kyler Murray was a baseball player. You might be right here. Maybe we can get some drafts or some money coming back our way, right? Let's be real. The Diamondbacks are really cheap too, so I doubt we get anything coming out of it. Soul, what's up, brother? He says, Mike, it would have been fine if we stayed with Josh because then we could have drafted. Boom. Yeah, exactly. Draft any other QB from the stacked 2020 draft. So Rosen sucking would have been a good thing. Plus, we would have had Nick Bosa. Yeah, true. 100%. So I like the way that you spun it and looking at it that way because you're right. You're 100% right. But people are going to say, you wanted Josh Rosen? You're an idiot. Why are we talking? Yeah, I wanted to stay with him. I'm not going to say he was the future, but I do believe he was kind of cut short way too quick. But you're right. If you were sucky both years, we could at least got a different quarterback, and we potentially could have had Nick Bosa. Facts. 100%. Look at you. Look at y'all. Appreciate you. Coming to my safety. I appreciate you. Coming to my aid. Cards House in the chat says keep K1 and draft a QB next year. I don't even know. That is a possibility. You can do that. Like, that is. But, like, who would you rather a quarterback learn from to be a pro? Like, to be a pro's pro? Who would you rather a young quarterback learn from? Like, really ask yourself, is that Kyler Murray? Or Jacoby Brissett dabbing people up on Thursday Night Football with the Seahawks when Marvin Harrison Jr. caught a touchdown. He was not even a QB1. He was happy for his boys, right? He was happy for this team to score points. Who would you rather learn from? A quarterback coming in here, you got to mold him to be the guy that you need him to be. I don't want him to learn from a guy sulking in the corner and being pissed off and, when things don't go right, he's not doing anything. Like, when things go right, Kyler Murray's a leader. When things don't go right, he ain't. Simple as that. We said it already for 7 years. 7 years. Nothing's changed. What's changing? Nothing. No one Carson Beck. Yeah, I agree. No Carson Beck. Strong class for the QBs. Forget Manning. I don't even think Manning's coming out to be, and Manning has not even looked great. So I'm not even thinking of a Manning. For people out there who are like, oh, draft and tanked for Archie Manning. No, I'm good without Archie Manning right now, man. Just, there's a lot of intriguing quarterbacks. I don't know who's going to be declaring, but there's a lot of intriguing quarterbacks coming out of this year's draft. Intriguing quarterbacks. And if you get the right coach, you can win 8 games with the right coach. Mike McDonald, Bruce Arians, multiple other coaches that have done it, right? We don't have to accept this BS 4-win seasons every time. There's head coaches that come in and they're really good head coaches from the get. I miss Bruce Arians. I miss Bruce Arians, man. We did him dirty, man. We did him dirty. I wasn't doing content at the time, but I probably would have been on that same boat, but everybody wanted him to fire Amos, right? I probably would have been on the same boat, and I would be equally to blame for getting Mr. Uncle Bruce Arians out of here. It was the best head coach we had. Best head coach we had, bar freaking none. Missed the man. Drew Aller. I did like Drew Aller as well. He didn't look that great this year, and then he got hurt. So he's hurt. I'm not even sure what the status of Drew Aller is. I'm assuming he's coming out sometime, but you're really going based off of speculation, right? He didn't have a great year this year. Yep, Garrett Nussmeier. Yep, Cade Klubnik. I'm not a big fan of Clemson quarterbacks. I don't know what it is. It's like that Ohio State quarterback stigma, although CJ Stroud is doing pretty solid. I'm not a big fan of Clemson quarterbacks. If the Cardinals go after Garrett Nussmeier, I mean, I would be cool with that. But, like, there's other people. Like, even, like Ty Simpson. I'm not even sure if he's coming out or not. What is he right now? Let me see. Is he a sophomore right now? Oh, he's young. He's really young. What is he right now? Let's see. He's the quarterback for Alabama. And that's the same thing, too. But, some people will say Alabama quarterbacks aren't that great either. But he is, let's see here. Oh, he's been with Alabama for a bit. Since 2022, then 23, 2024. Got his real crack here in 2025. He's a junior. He might be eligible. He's 6'2", tall. QBR rating. Here we go, boys. Ready for this? 81.5. Here we go, boys. Let's go. QBR boys out there, 81.5. How about that? So there's that. I heard look out for Dante Moore. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't really looked at a lot of tape from Oregon, but once we know that the season is cooked, which it's trending that direction, we're going to be doing a lot more deep dives into these quarterbacks that potentially can come out. Dante Moore is another interesting one as well. He's 6'3", 206. I know some people don't want him. That's fine, but we'll see. Trey in the chat says, you think with your feelings, you just hurt after 4-1 loss? I mean, yeah. Is the fan base a little in their feelings? Yeah, maybe. Right? Including myself? Yeah, maybe. I was expecting more from this organization. I really was. Can the Cardinals change it? They can. Right? They can. And I'm glad I'm not the head coach. I'm glad I'm not the coach because, yeah, I would be pretty bummed out. It's a tough job to have to make things seem like it's okay when things are burning down, right? It seems like a very, very tough thing to do. So credit to him because honestly, yeah, It's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough. So you might be right. I mean, if the Cardinals win the Green Bay Packers game, maybe we get a little life, but you got to start winning. You got to start winning. You guys flipped the same when Josh Dobbs was a backup, and you made it all look foolish. Learn from your mistakes. Here's the thing. I don't think people wanted Josh Dobbs to be the future. And I think that's what people get confused with. That when people are giving kudos and people are giving high fives and, oh man, you did good, listen to the whole message before you jump. People weren't saying Josh Dobbs was the future, right? People were saying, oh, that looked like a pretty solid offense. No, he wasn't winning a damn thing, right? He wasn't winning. But at some points, you've shown flashes of, okay, that looks pretty good. And Kyler Murray came back for 8 games, won 3 out of those 5 games, which, I mean, whether you want to say that's impressive or not, that's up to you. I'll leave that for your imagination. But nobody was saying Josh Dobbs should be number 1. I mean, I know there's some people out there saying Josh Dobbs should start over Kyler. I mean, I wasn't in that boat myself, but I understand there were some people out there. But also keep in mind, I don't think anybody was saying Josh Dobbs' future of the Cardinals. They probably were saying that as a out to get Kyler Murray out of here. Because believe it or not, this is as loud as I've heard from Kyler, all the people that want him out. This is as loud as if I heard it right here. But there was people, the same people that were talking about it in 2023 and 2024. You got to get rid of Kyler Murray. You got to get rid of Kyler Murray. And guess what? We're now 3 years removed or 2 years removed for him. The new regime coming in here, and we still haven't really accomplished nothing. So take that as you will, right? And the same thing with Jacoby. Jacoby's not the future. And I think that's what people are getting confused. And I think that might be the young crowd that so badly do not want Kyler to leave, and they want to throw everybody under the bus because they can't correlate that when people are saying Jacoby Brissett should take the helm, they're not saying Jacoby Brissett is the future. They're saying, let's get it out of the current situation we're in right now and start planning for 2026. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't make sense because that's what people are coming in here. Oh, you say Josh Dobbs too. Oh, you say Jacoby Brissett. The people that were probably saying Josh Dobbs is probably because they were tired of K1 in 2023. So, I mean, take it as you will. Take it as you will. Did Kyler fumble at the goal line? No, he didn't. He didn't. And that's why I'm saying, right, that it's not all Kyler Murray's fault. It's not. But do you want to know something else as well? How many drives do you think we had for our offense to recover from all all those bad mistakes that ended up happening? How many drives? Huh? How many drives did the Arizona Cardinals offense come back on the field and do nothing? Are we talking about that? Because we're talking about the worst team in the NFL, right? I mean, we might be up there too, but we're talking about one of the worst teams in the NFL. After the Amari DeMarcado fumble, right? And that was back in the 3rd quarter, right? If I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. No, I apologize. The Amari DeMarcado fumble was in the 4th quarter. So after that happened, that also the punt off the forehead from Kyler, that also happened before. So the Amari DeMarcado, that whole situation, guess how many times the Arizona Cardinals offense was on the field to do something? Guess how many times? 2 other times after the fumble from Amari DeMarcado. Guess what? The next drive we got the ball, we had 3 plays, 1 yard, we punted it. Guess what? We got the ball right back after they scored a touchdown on the fumble from or interception fumble, right? 19-21. We got the ball back, and it was 6 plays, 15 yards, punted the ball right back. So for me, you're right. It's not all Kyler Murray, right? But also on the other side of the coin, there's 2 other drives that the Cardinals could have put away this game. 2 other drives, and they couldn't do it, right? They couldn't do it. So you're right. It's not all Kyler Murray's fault. But you're meaning to tell me a guy that's getting paid $45+ million can't do more than 1 yard in 3 plays with killing 1 minute and 41 seconds? And on top of that, we got the ball one more time to close off the game and we couldn't do it. Now, yes, that's some blame to Petzing, right? Blame Petzing. Run. That was dumb. Asinine, right? I agree. But on the other side of the coin, the Cardinals offense could have done something, and they didn't. They scored 14 points. 14 points in the first quarter, 7 points in the second. They could have scored another 7 in the fourth, but where was the third quarter offense? Same thing. So the excuse is, you can have an excuse, then I'll throw one right back to you, right? Because you're right. It's not all Kyler, but you want to throw excuses, I'll throw one back to you. The Cardinals offense had an opportunity twice to do something with the ball, and they didn't do it. They could have closed it out, and they didn't. They said, nah, bro, here's the ball back. Go score a field goal on us. Anything about that? No, ain't nobody talk about that, right? The offense is putrid in the first 5 weeks. Putrid, terrible, god-awful. Ain't no one want to talk about that, though, right? They all talk about the Amari Makata fumble. And you're right. If that didn't happen, we probably could have won that game. Flying colors, 100%. But that was what, unfortunately, broke everything, and it almost kind of feel like dire. But before that, Kyler Murray had a head doink on his forehead. Ball hit the ground. And then the Demerson interception fumbled it back into the touch. So all these things, unfortunately, happened to the Cardinals. But we had opportunities to do it. The offense was back on the field a couple times. They just couldn't do it. Let's take a couple more comments and we'll be closing up shop. We'll go with Jay Warlock. Love the name. Jacoby Brissett showed to the world that it's not the wide receivers' fault for the past 5 weeks. Wide receivers can catch and they can move the ball forward. Yep. What's up? Let's end it off with my guy Ian saying Kyler is not a weed, bro. We need a competent game plan that suits his play style. Okay. So what we know, it's not this play style, right? We know it's not this, right? We know it's not this already. We know it. I think we've all established it. It sucks that it took this long. We know now that some other quarterback can run it better than him, right? So we know that now. It is not everybody else's fault. It's an accumulation of a lot of different things, including Kyler Murray being the blame, right? Okay. So let me ask you this, chat. Are you willing to provide another set of offense for Kyler Murray? Are you willing to set another offensive coordinator, another coaching staff, starting brand new to accommodate to his needs? Are you willing to do that? Because we already saw in year one, the excuses was footwork. Won 3 games out of 8. We saw in year 2 of Petzing, 6-4. Only won 2 games in the second half, right? Year 3, not all Kyler's fault. I agree. But we're 2-4. So are you willing to take another year? Heading into year 8, let's go. Kyler Murray, I believe in you. We'll get you a new coaching staff. Do you really want to do that? Or you cut your ties now and start planning for the future? Keep in mind, this quarterback's getting 19% of our cap space. 19. Are you willing to go after another quarter or another head coach and bring in another offensive coordinator to appease to your quarterback that can't accommodate to the first coach, to the second coach, and now to this coach? Are you willing to do that? Because guess what? You're going into year 8 at that moment. And then I promise you, excuses will be unfolding in your very eyes. And we're going to blink our eyes and we're going to be sitting in year 10 with Kyler Murray. We're going to be heading into 2030 and Kyler Murray still hasn't figured it out. And guess what? He's getting older. That means you're slower. You're not as fast as you used to be in 2019, 2020, 2021. So we're keeping them because we think of the potential, right? So ask yourself that question. And if you really want to do that, then okay. I see where you're coming from. That's fine. I see where you're coming from. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to take another OC on to accommodate to somebody that can't already do it for the other 2 consistently. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to get more excuses up in here saying, oh, it's year 1. Let's let him learn. Oh, year 8 quarterback, $45+ million. Let him learn year 1 with new OC. I'm not willing to do that. It's done. It's cooked. It's about 19% of the cap space. He's getting paid $45 million plus. $45 plus million in cap hit. The Cardinals, the last update, what is it? Like 190 million? 190 million? So like a little under 200,000. You're paying a guy about 19, 20% of your cap space to do nothing, to not be your X factor, to not win close games. That's what you're doing. Allocate that money somewhere else. Oh my goodness gracious. Ian, for the love of God, where do we go? Where is the disconnect, my guy? I love you, brother, but you're not following what I'm putting down. No, the same coin. And this is, no, I am not willing to stick with Petzing. The future is you're getting rid of everybody at the end of the season. That's what you do. How are we not getting this, ladies and gentlemen? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. No. The plan is to move off of him too. No, I don't understand it. Look, what have I been talking for about an hour and 6 minutes? No. What are we talking about right now, ladies and gentlemen? No. I'm done. I can't. I can't. How else do I explain it? You get rid of Kyler Murray, you get rid of everybody. That's what you do at the end of the season. You start over. You get a new offensive coordinator, you get a new coaching staff, you get a new quarterback in the draft. That's what you do. You trade him in the trade deadline. That's what I want the Cardinals to do. No, I don't want to keep Drew Petzing. No. I'm done. I think I'm done now. I literally cannot speak. I'm flabbergasted right now with people I don't understand. I don't get it. We're 2-4 right now. If the Cardinals beat the Green Bay Packers, we'll have different conversations next week. Will we beat the Packers? Well, let's find out, right? Let's leave it at that. Let's leave to see if we actually beat the Packers. Chances are we're not going to beat them. But if you want to stay positive, you want to stay okay, then fine. You keep that positivity. That's okay. But you're 2-4 right now. You're 0-2 in the division. Your rest of your compadres in the NFC West are all 4-2. You're the opposite schedule of that. Yes, we have 10 plus games left, but right now this coaching staff has not proven that they can do it. They cannot win close games. And then Jonathan Gannon comes out and says, "Oh yes, Kyler Murray is our quarterback when healthy." Okay, we'll roll with it. Die on that sword. Die in it. That's fine. So yes, at the end of the season, if push comes to shove, and the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the top 5 pick, a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, you get rid of everybody. If you want to give JG another opportunity, then whatever. But no, Petzing's not going to stay. But Kyler's going to go. Petzing's going to go. I don't know what you do with JG. Honestly, if he's going to die on the sword and he's so confident that he's going to win it for you, then he can go too. I can care 2 S's. I can care 2 S's. Ian in the chat, it's another rebuild, bro. This is a constant state because we all were okay with Kyler Murray. That's why. Kyler Murray ain't gonna do nothing for you. Nothing. Year 8, you're willing. We're in a rebuild with the franchise quarterback for $45+ million right now. That's what we're in. We're still in the rebuild. $45+ million to a quarterback that can't win. We're in a rebuild. So not another rebuild. We're just continuing. we're just the continuing. That's all it is. It's we thought it was a 3-year, it's a 4-year rebuild. But you're getting rid of the dead weight. That's what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's close up shop right here. Let's do that. Let's just close up shop right here. It's that time. It's that time. I'm about to crash out here on the street. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so very much. If you haven't already, smack the like button, subscribe. Thank you so very much. We're going to be closing up shop right here. You guys are all amazing, as always. Hope the Green Bay Packers end up losing this Sunday, but let's see what happens. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day. As always, go Cardinals.